Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and do a bit of an unboxing of my new RetroBit Genesis 8-button arcade pad with USB, which is compatible with, and this is the clear blue version, of course, as you can tell, not the traditional black one, but it's compatible with PC, Mac, Steam, PS3, Switch, and Genesis Mini, which is the Sega's equivalent of the NES Classic, and SNES Classic, that is. But the other reason I got it was Mad Little Pixel did a video where he listed off basically a various collection of, I guess you can say he called it his top 5 or something like that, of compatible USB controllers when it would come to the, I don't know if you can see it over there, the Super RetroCade. And the reason he wanted to do that video to show what he considers the best compatible controllers, along with those that are bundled with the RetroCade and things, is so that everybody that has, let's say ROMs on the RetroCade, the Super RetroCade, which you are capable of doing, as well as the already installed games, whether they're the arcade ports or the console versions, which are a variety of NES, SNES, and Genesis. Basically, Mad Little Pixel wanted to like I said, do a video where, basically he showed off what he considered the top 5 compatible controllers for the RetroCade, depending on your taste of, game, if you will. Like, with the Genesis Mini mainly, some of the games, pre-installed in that require the 6-button controller, and the Genesis Mini only came with 2 3-button controllers. And some of those games, like I mentioned in the package opening, consist of games of like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you name it. So he made the So basically, by going through some of these controllers, he made the recommendation of what he considers are some of the best and what are compatible with certain games, especially the games that you might, go to various ROM sites and download and put onto an SD card, or what I did, a USB flash drive. And this was one of the top controllers, actually one of the top controllers he concluded his video with by saying that if you have Genesis games on there that require the 6-button controller, like if you've downloaded Genesis ROMs and all that, or ROMs of Genesis games that require a regular Genesis controller to play, then this is the controller for you, basically. And he demonstrated it, and it does. From what I saw, it works fine. And as I also mentioned in the package opening, there's a lot of people that when I looked up reviews on Amazon where I got this, they basically showed the RetroCade, the Super RetroCade, in the background connected to it, because that is basically the primary reason a lot of people are getting this. Not just to play games on their PCs or their Macs or the Switch or Steam or even the Genesis Mini, or even the RetroPie, because that's even listed. But they mainly got it so that they could play the games that are already pre-installed on the Super RetroCade. Like I said, the arcade and console ports of the various games there, as well as the various number of ROMs that they would download from a site, install into an SD card or a flash drive, and put it into the RetroCade to play on their television. So yeah, this is again, this is one of the controllers that he recommended, and I know I'm about a little over 4 minutes talking about this before unboxing it. So let's get to the unboxing, shall we? So we can set this up and see on camera. I'm not going to do the video capture device, because even though it will capture the image and the sound and everything, you can't hear the sound when you're playing it on the television. I'm guessing because of the fact that the television is a 4K screen, a 4K television compared to 1080p or 720. So we're going to record it with this camera here, that I'm using, so you guys can see not only the games in action, but see the controller in action as well, to see if it is exactly what Mad Little Pixel said it is capable of doing. So with that said, let's open this up if we can. Okay, so let's open this up as we can, if we, if we can. I got my utility knife, one of the things I kept from my former job, which was Walmart. So we're gonna open it up here. Now, this isn't the first compatible controller that I got for specifically for the RetroCade, or even my computer over here. I actually got the Hyperkin controller as well. In fact, I'll show you that real quickly. I actually got this as well from Hyperkin, and for the Super RetroCade, if you will, and it actually works very well, especially if you're using it for SNES games and all that. And then, of course, these are the controllers that the Super RetroCade came with. They're all right and everything, but they're not compatible. They're not what's the word I'm looking for? They're not the best solution when it comes to playing like certain games like Genesis, ROMs and all that, or even some of the arcade and console ports of the same game that's already pre-installed onto the RetroCade. And again, this is why a lot of people buy these things, and buy these other controllers from places like RetroBit, 8-Bit Duo, and Hyperkin, because it gives them more variety of what to use when it comes to playing certain games. And as for me, of course, as a lot of you know, I have the hacks, the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 hacks that have, instead of Sonic, they have Sally and Bunnie. That's right. There's people that actually hacked hacked the Sonic games, the original Sonic 1 and 2 games, and put the sprite and replaced the Sonic sprite with Sally and Bunnie. So, for example, you have a hack of Sonic 1 and 2 with Bunnie, as a playable character, along with Tails and Sonic 2. And the same with Sally. Sally's a playable character hacked in there in Sonic 1 and 2 as well. And I think there's even a 3 one, but I have to look into that in the future. See if that, I can get that one as well. But anyway, let's pull out this thing. As we could see, the box is empty. And of course, it comes with instructions, and that's one of the original controllers, as you could tell. And you could definitely tell already that the controller is extremely long. I think it's about 10 feet. 10 feet, I believe, from what people have said. And you could tell it's a very thick controller. So basically, it's a very durable controller, depending on what your preference is in using it. So we're going to take that out, put that to the side here. And it definitely feels really good. Like Mad Pixel says, there is a central pivot to there. And one thing that I know about Re-Res, when they've talked about this, and I think Re-Res may have talked about this controller too, or one of them that's similar to it, is the one thing that really is an issue with the guys at Re-Res, mostly Shane, is the controller having a central pivot when it comes to the D-pad, and this one definitely feels like it has one, which is really good. And yeah, you got the A, B, and C buttons are really, as they would say, are really clicky, so that's pretty cool. And then you got the X, Y, and Z, which is really good as well. So these actually work pretty good. And then the shoulder buttons here, the L and R shoulder buttons, feel really clicky as well. And then you got the start button, and you got the mode button as well. And then, of course, this is exclusively licensed by Sega, so that's really cool as well. And then, like I said, you get the instructions here, which gives you the layout diagram, as it's called. Shows you what it's compatible with here. You see default, not default compatible, but shows it the default mapping, button mapping, if you will. So that's really nice. And then, yeah, that's about it. And this is a RetroBit product that was licensed to them, as the old saying goes, by Sega. So Sega's like, hey, you want this? Here you go. Well, not Sega, but what I'm trying to say is Sega licensed RetroBit to create them a secondary controller. I think Sega on their own did one as well, but you know, I guess sold out on that, which was the 6-button deal. So they went to places like RetroBit and 8-Bit Duo and Hyperkin and said, hey, can you do us a favor, and we'll officially license it and create us some, you know, secondary controllers like the 3-button ones and all that. So I'm thinking that's what happened, and it's really cool. So anyway, though, guys, we're going to try this out. Like I said, I'm going to set up this camera so we could try to see, you know, if this works right. Again, I'm not going to be using the video capture device that I have, because even though it will capture the video and the sound, you know, the one thing that you like about, you know, video games is playing them with sound, and unfortunately that doesn't do it for me. So we're gonna turn this off for a bit, and I'm gonna set things up, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so got the Super RetroCade hooked up, haven't turned it on yet. Going to connect this baby here. Gonna untie it first a little bit. That's the one thing that some people don't like about these kind of things, is there's always some ties and all that. And don't worry, it's gonna turn back on. It's gonna turn on in a moment. And yeah, you can definitely see the length of this. This looks like it's definitely a 10-foot cord, so that, you know, you could sit back in your chair and enjoy it. So we're gonna hook this in right here. So we're gonna hook it in. There we go. And we're going to turn this on here, like that. It should come on. There it is. Super RetroCade is on. Got the controller right here. If you will, got the controller. And we're going to see if this does work. And there's my ROMs. And looks like it is. I'm pressing the controller. I'm gonna press the highlight here though, so you can see. So I can make sure. There you can see it is working. I'm pressing this. That's pretty good. So that's pretty good. It's working. Really nice. We got a couple of fighting games that it'll work for. It'd be interesting when you try. I haven't seen anybody try any NES games with these things yet, so it'll be interesting. But here's what I want to try. Here's the Sally hack. This is the Sally hack right here, both the Sally 1 and 2 hacks. And then I think when you go back to the top, we have the Bunnie hack of the Bunnie hack, the Bunnie Rabbot hack of the Sonic 1 game. And then when you go to the bottom, you have the hack, the Bunnie Rabbot hack of Sonic 2. Now, one thing I have noticed, and I've never talked about this yet, so I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about it now. I noticed that depending on how many ROMs you put on your SD card or your flash drive, of course you notice it takes time for the pictures to load, especially if you do that method that people like Mad Little Pixel and others have talked about, where you basically get the logo or something close to the game logo, and then you name it, you know, then you put the word game right next to it. Basically, you merge the word game into it. Like, you know, for here, like with Marvel superheroes, you got to go MSH and then you got to put game and then JPEG, or not JPEG, but you got to go MSH game. You got to add game to the MSH and then put .png. So that's the only way it's going to work, or something like that. So yeah. But these are all the games that I have on there, essentially. And like I said, some of them, you know, they work. I mean, most of them work. Some don't. Like, I have the Nintendo World Championship on there, but all you get is the title screen. You don't get nothing else. It doesn't move forward. And then, of course, here's the Bunnie Rabbot hack for Sonic 2 right there that I just highlighted right there. So we're going to try these out and see if, you know, using the Sega controller is a lot better than the Hyperkin controller, because the Hyperkin controller, it works, but it's, and I've done very well with it when it comes to those, to the Sally and Bunnie hacks of the Sonic 1 and 2 games. But the thing is, it's, you know, it's a little hard at times to, you know, to really, like, I mean, I'm not trying to say it's not really hard. I'm just saying it's like, you know, it takes a bit to get a feel for it, because you're so used to playing the Sonic games with a Sega controller and all that. So here's Sally and Sonic 1. We're gonna let's see, I think A is going to be the button you need to do. Yep, A is the button. So it worked. So that's good. Sega. And then there we go with the Sega. And then Sally, so we're going to press start. And see if we get here. So we're going to try a little test here. So A is jump. B is the laser. And then I think C, yeah, oh no. So X, okay, so here's the difference about this one. So we're gonna pause it right here. So A is the jump, B is the little lightning thing, like, okay, so here's A's the jump, B is that, and then up here you gotta go with the X for the bullet. Usually you would think it was that, but I'm gonna have to map that eventually. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. It didn't work out there. You're gonna have to, whoa. I guess it works out better because if you go from A to C, you know, like you go here and then you go like that, it's a little hard, so you want to have something like right next to it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so far it worked out really well. Like I said, the X button on the controller, works out pretty well. I mean, everything looks good. I mean, everything feels good. So that's really good. And like I said, I think the reason they have you have a program to be like this and run to the special zone. So yeah, basically, you know, A jumps, the B is the lightning, and then the X is the fire button. So let's see how I do here in the special zone with this. Looks like I'm doing good. One thing I'll give credit to the people that did these hats is they did a heck of a job. Now, of course, you can map out the controllers, the buttons to fit what you want. So, like basically, if you want you want this button, the X button for the fire, to the fire button, if you will, to that's one thing too. I think they need to fix that. See? It's a bit of a hack that they need to fix. Okay, so I'm gonna try to, I think, I don't know how you, I think that's the only issue you have here. I think that's the only issue you have here is you don't have a, trying to figure out, is there a way we can get out of here? And no. So what you're gonna have to do, basically, unfortunately, with this is the only negative that people will have of it, that will have with it, is you can't figure a way out. You can't, you have to turn off the system and then turn it back on to play another game if you're using the controller. But besides that, the controller does work. It is operational. It does work. It's more than what I could say for my PXN fight stick, which does work. It is a great fight stick. But the thing is, it works when you're maneuvering the menu, if you will. So it works, like I said, when you're maneuvering the menu. And then of course you got the opportunity, like down here on the bottom, you can do, choose anything you want to choose. And then like home, that gives you the home button here gives you the option to, do whatever you want, and the back button and all that. So again, I don't know exactly how you can go back with this, like what you do with the controllers that come with the system, or with the control, or with things like the Hyperkin. So I think that's the only defect on it. But we're gonna try the Bunnie Rabbot hack here to see if this works good. Sega. And again, I have to give a lot of credit to those that do these hacks, because they don't have to do them, but they do them anyway. So we're gonna see what she has here. So hers is that, and then B is that, and then yeah, that's what I figured. It's pretty much kind of the same color scheme. I mean, the same kind of controller scheme as with Sally's. So it works out really good. Again, the controllers work fluidly. Like I said, the only thing is with the Y button is that's your weapon button, and then the others are like, Bunnie is the floating button on A, and the hovering button, if you will. So that's the only thing, if you will. And it's basically, with these games, it is a lot easier to control with this controller, because these are essentially Sonic games. That's what they are. And like I said, I don't know exactly how you get out of there or anything, but anyway, though, overall the controller works. The controller works great. I don't think there's no getting around it. It actually works really good. So I do recommend, as I disconnect this and all that, I do recommend that if you're into a compatible controller, especially with something like this, that you should try to get it. I mean, I do know that, you know, one thing a lot of people like about, you know, the RetroCade and the RetroPie or any system is, you know, nowadays they give you, you know, other options to, you know, play the games. And, you know, this is actually a great option in my opinion to have this. Now, does it work with the Genesis Mini? Obviously it does, because that's what it says on the box. It's meant for the Genesis Mini as well as the Switch. Because the Switch does have Genesis games on some of the store, you know, in the eShop store, I believe. But yeah, this is a great controller to have, and again, I do recommend it, because one of the things that, you know, some people were, you know, upset about was, and I think they're over here they are. I have some of my controllers stored away for a bit until I use them, and there goes one of them anyway. The one thing people complained about was, you know, the 6-button deal here. Like, you know, okay, this is all nice and everything, but you know, what would you do if you have a fighting game and stuff? So and that's the one thing that they kind of complained about a little bit. And of course I got more controllers falling behind here. And that was the Dreamcast controller that fell, so we'll put that back up. But yeah, you know, that was the one major complaint they had was, you know, this is a... Oh, turned off my TV. Didn't want to do that. But anyway, like I said, that was the one major complaint that they had with it was, hey, this is a great controller and everything, but, you know, like, but basically, you know, what good is it for like a fighting game, especially one that requires 6 buttons? I mean, even James Wolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, when he did his Mortal Kombat video last year, even brought that up. Like, you know, what good is the game, you know, if the controllers, you know, don't work, if you don't have the proper controller? Like, again, with this is a good controller too, and the big difference though with it is it has the and when you compare the two, because both work with the RetroCade, and I'm sure with the RetroPie and stuff, the big difference is it has select and start. And usually when you press select and start, that brings up the thing. Now, I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing with start and home, but that's a little bit more tricky and everything. So we'll have to, you know, see, you know, what happens later on. You're like, I'll probably look into it later on and all that. But so far, the 2 controllers that I do recommend, and I know I'm not alone in this, are the official Retrobit Sega 6-button controller or 8-button controller, and the Hyperkin controller as well. The Hyperkin Scout controller, as they call it, the Pro Scout controller, the SNES one. Those are the ones people recommend you use, because if you want compatibility with a system like the RetroCade, you know, that's the route to go, apparently. So yeah, I'll put those behind there until further use. But yeah, overall, guys, let me put this up here so you don't see me up close or anything. But yeah, overall, guys, it's a great controller. I do recommend, again, that if you're into any of those kind of controllers, if you're, you know, if you want to, you know, basically have more options for like your games when it comes to the Super RetroCade, the Genesis Mini, your PCs and all that, then I recommend, you know, not just the Hyperkin Pro Scout controller, which it is indeed called. As a matter of fact, I think that's what it's called. I'm going to make sure. Yeah, the Scout controller, the Scout Premium controller. You know, I don't just recommend that, but I also recommend the official Genesis Retrobit 8-button controller as well, to give you more variety with your games. But that's about it, guys. So let me know what y'all thoughts are down below. Comment if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later.